Hi, everyone. I'm Mark Walmsley. I'm the founder of the Arts and Culture Network. We're currently 92,000, I think, across our 5 LinkedIn groups, going like a Boeing, as one of our members said the other day, which was great. We have about 200 people joining our LinkedIn groups every day, and a growing number of subscribers who are full members, one of which has joined me today. Vignesh, thank you so much for joining me.
Hi, Mark. It's an absolute pleasure to join the Arts and Cultures Network, and I'm absolutely thrilled to take it forward. And 92,000 seems like a very huge number, and I'm very glad to be a part of it.
That's very kind of you. We're nearly able to fill Wembley Stadium. Wouldn't that be fun? Yeah.
Yes.
So this is my opportunity to thank you for being a full member and to introduce you to the rest of the gang. And I'm also going to create your perfect cultural year from the answers to 10 questions or so, which should be fun. And then we'll play the this or that game. Just to,
yes.
It's a nice icebreaker. But before we do that, Vignesh, would you like to introduce yourself? Tell us more about you, where you are, what you do, more about Branding Beez and the work you do, and the kind of organizations that you'd really like to connect with.
Yes, definitely, Mark. Hi guys, I'm based in India. It's a small town called Coimbatore. We are about 3 million people strong here, which is a huge number for a lot of people here. But again, India is the most populated country, and I've been in business for about 5 years right now, and Branding Beez is 4 years old. We deal with a lot of people in the UK, and our main clients are from digital marketing agencies, ideally about clients, people who have about 2 to 5 employees in their the agency, and we directly work with agencies in the UK where we outsource projects from the UK to India. And the other one that we do is called a dedicated resource model, where we help you get a virtual employee here in my office, where they can basically work for you full time for the entire month, and we charge about 750 to 800 pounds a month. And that goes from being a graphic designer to a website developer to a video editor, an ads person, or a virtual assistant, or an SEO person. And in brief, that's about it.
That sounds great. Did you say 700 to 800 pounds per month?
Yes.
For a full-time support across those different disciplines?
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds fantastic, and I'm sure that will be of interest to many of our clients. But it's not just agencies you work with. You can work with the end client as well, can't you?
Yes, definitely. So we are in tie-ups with a lot of growing companies who has a very minimum budget on the marketing side, and choosing us helps them grow a little more faster, and it really helps their marketing. Budget seems really small, and the work that they get done is really huge. Great. So yeah,
that's good to know. Excellent, thank you. So wherever this interview appears, there'll be links to Vignesh on LinkedIn and to the Branding Beez. So do check that out. So thank you very much again. Now, this is the fun bit. I'm going to ask you 10 questions, and from that, we're going to paint this picture of your perfect cultural year. Given our different cultural backgrounds, East and West, I think this will be really interesting.
Yes, definitely should be.
So we'll see. There are no wrong answers. And if you don't have a favorite in any of these categories, then you may, the last one that comes to mind, or make one up. So here we go. Are you ready, Vignesh?
Yes.
So the first question to kick us off is, do you have a favorite building?
Building, all right. So I would say yes, and that's Apple's headquarters, I suppose.
Okay.
Yeah.
Apple's headquarters. That's a nice place to start our cultural year.
Yeah.
Where is it again? I can't remember. It's in Silicon Valley, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I should know because I'm an Apple advocate. There we go. Okay, so I'd like you to imagine that you're sitting on a park bench outside Apple's HQ. Steve Jobs was a pirate. When he died, they flew the skull and crossbones above the Apple HQ because he said famously, "I'd rather be a pirate than in the Navy."
Yeah.
Which is all about thinking differently. I love it. So you're sitting there. It's the summer. It's about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. You just had a meeting in the Apple HQ, okay? And next to you on the bench, because you're having a break, is your favorite book.
Okay.
What book is on the bench next to you?
All right. So, this is the first book that I've read. Whenever this is my first book, and it was How to Make Friends and Influence People. And that's my favorite book because, it basically taught me how to be gentle and polite and how to get things done just through talking.
I love it. Dale Carnegie, I think, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah.
Brilliant. That's fantastic. Love that. On the other side of you, and it can be anything you like, is a drink.
Okay.
You can have anything you like. What would you have on the left of your bench there, sitting?
Okay. I love Oreo milkshake, I suppose.
What, sorry?
Oreo milkshake. It's an Oreo milkshake. It's a milkshake that has Oreo in it. Oreo.
Oh, the biscuit.
Yes.
Oreo milkshake. Love
Milkshake.
that.
Yeah. Have you ever had one in your life?
No,
I think
I've had the biscuits, but I've never had the milkshake. So
okay, it's pretty simple. You just have to put it in a blender and then put biscuits and milk and that's it. It's perfect.
brilliant. Oh, I'm going to try that. That sounds great.
Yeah.
Now you're rather pleased with yourself because I'm inventing this story as we go. Okay, but your meeting at Apple HQ was about the Apple funding you to take a year out to go and study the design, art, creativity, and cultural landscape in a different country. Okay. They want you to, it's all expenses paid, no expense spared, first class all the way, nice apartment while you're there for that year, and a team of new friends who are going to meet you when you arrive. And the Apple want you to go and, but you can choose the country you go to, but it can't be one that you've lived in.
All right. Okay.
Where are you going?
Okay, I'm going to Oxford University, London, to study psychology.
Is that the dream, or is that a reality?
No, it's a dream. Yeah,
Right.
I actually want to study psychology so that I understand people much more better and come up with faster solutions. Yeah.
Brilliant. So you've been sent all the travel itinerary and everything, and you're on the plane, okay, to Oxford.
Okay.
You're on the plane to London Heathrow, and a car is going to meet you and drive you to Oxford, where they've arranged for you to have an apartment close to the colleges, the key colleges.
Okay.
And you on the plane, you open an envelope from Apple that they asked you to read on the plane, and not. And they want to study you while you're studying that culture.
All right. Okay.
And what they want you to do is limit your musical intake to one genre of music, just one type of music for the whole year.
Okay.
They want to do a study the psychological impact of doing that. What single musical genre or type of music would you choose?
All right, that's a tough question for me, but I would choose hip hop. Seems to be on top of my mind, but I would choose reggae, I suppose.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah.
There you see. This always produces anecdotes and surprises, but you'll have Babylon by Bus by Bob Marley on repeat.
Yeah. I just
Greetings
love
in the name of His Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie. I can do that. That's my party piece. The opening of that album. I'm going to play it for Isabel in a minute.
Okay.
Excellent. So you got reggae all year, nothing else, just reggae, with the exception of what your guests take you to. So you've touched down in Heathrow. You've made it to Oxford. You've unpacked all your stuff in that overlooking the dreaming spires and the colleges of Oxford, with a view to coming back another time to do your psychology course. Your guests meet you from Apple London, and they want to take you to a dance performance, and you can choose any dancer, living or dead, any dance group, or any dance style. What are you going to choose?
I'm not sure if you've heard of these guys, but it's called Jabberwockies.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're my favorite from my school days. I've always wanted to dance like them, but no, I'm not a great dancer.
What kind of dance is it? I'm not familiar with it. Is it that kind of 1930s?
No, it was really famous in 2005 to 10, I suppose.
Yeah.
It's a group of dancers in the US, and if you Google it out as like Jabberwockies, it's a group performance, and they are brilliant.
Oh, that's great. Anyone watching this is now leaping to Google to have a look. So that's great. So you've been to the Jabberwockies performance. They want to take you out to dinner in Oxford, and you can choose the cuisine. What would you choose?
All right. So I really love continental. So I guess continental is the type of cuisine I would choose. And I love desserts. So I would want to I would love to go to a Michelin star restaurant and have like, continental.
There are some close to Oxford, 3 stars.
Okay.
Yeah. I can't remember the name of them, but they're on the River Thames, in Bray. It'll come to me. But yeah, right. So you're off to some Mediterranean, continental, 3-star Michelin with good puddings.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've enjoyed that. The next day is Saturday, and that's sport day in the UK. So they want to know, they'll take you to any sporting event you wish. What would you like to go and see?
All right. So I have a friend of mine in the UK who says that, you should watch football by Ipswich. I suppose that's the right name.
Ipswich.
Yeah, they're like long back, but he said I think that's the name. Yeah.
That would be, yeah. So that's quite a distance from Oxford, but you'd have to cross north of London to get to Ipswich in Suffolk.
Okay.
That's fine. I don't think they're top flight, to be fair.
No, they are not. No.
But you probably have more fun than not being able to see the ball at the Emirates Stadium, for example.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, excellent. So you've gone to see Ipswich Town play football. Excellent. Now, the next day, there is a new high-tech art gallery in Oxford. It's digital. And the idea is that you walk through, and at the flick of a button, you can have the complete works of any visual artist displayed on the walls in chronological order. So you can walk through their life of art, but you can only do one visual artist.
All right.
Who would you choose?
That's a very difficult question because I'm not a great fan of art, but I suppose it would be Leonardo da Vinci.
Nice.
Yeah.
Da Vinci. Yeah, that's going to be quite a wonderful, with the Mona Lisa in there as well at the end.
Exactly. Yeah.
Nice. Love that. Now, to lighten the mood, the following evening, they're going to take you to the theatre, and you can watch any play or musical ever written. What do you choose?
All right. So I would love to watch, Shakespeare's play, which is called. This was my favorite play in school as well, and.
Was it a comedy or a tragedy?
No, it's a tragedy where there was this guy called. I'm just not getting it.
Othello.
No.
Merchant of Venice.
Yes, it's a Merchant of Venice. Yeah.
Right. Who are the characters in that? I can't remember. Is that the one with the pound of flesh?
Yes, that's the one. Yeah.
Yeah. Malvolio.
I'm sorry.
Malvolio.
No.
That's a different play.
Okay.
I'm showing my lack of Shakespeare knowledge here. So, Excellent. So you've done that. And then finally, they're going to take you to the cinema for a movie. Any movie you like.
Okay.
Green. What are you choosing?
All right. So I'm always a huge fan of science fiction, and I love Interstellar. But I would love to watch, Sherlock Holmes.
Nice. I'm a fan of both. Interstellar is the only movie I go and watch just for the music.
Yeah.
The Hans Zimmer soundtrack is amazing. It really is. Excellent. So there you go. That's your perfect cultural year started, Vignesh. And then I can tell you, looking ahead, that you come back 2 years later, having got a place at Oxford to read psychology.
Yes, I would definitely be. Yeah.
Someone said to me, you should really set up a travel agency and make this happen. There you go. There we are. That's your perfect cultural year, which has given us an insight into your preferences, which is lovely. So we're now going to do a fast track this or that. So I'm going to give you two options, and instinctively and quickly, you need to tell me which one you'll take.
Yeah.
Okay, right. Tea or coffee?
Coffee.
Radio or television?
Radio.
Car or motorcycle?
Car.
Comedy or horror?
Comedy.
Concert hall or sports stadium?
Sports stadium.
Cat or dog?
Dog.
Test the water or dive in at the deep end?
Dive in.
Love that. Orange juice, bits or no bits?
Bits.
Library or museum?
Museum.
Beethoven or Mozart?
Beethoven.
Shower or bath?
Bath.
Cooking or being cooked for?
Being cooked for.
Fiction or non-fiction?
Fiction.
Sand or snow?
Snow.
Shopping online or in store?
In store.
Reggae or salsa?
Reggae.
Indoors or outdoors?
Indoors.
Android or iPhone?
iPhone.
Start immediately or wait until the last minute?
Start immediately.
I'm the opposite, sadly. Science or history?
Songs.
Science.
Okay, science. Okay, science. It's then science. Yeah.
Science. New York or Los Angeles?
Los Angeles.
Early morning or late at night?
Late at night.
We're together on that. Messy desk or tidy desk?
Tidy desk.
Plan it or wing it?
Wing it.
Sleeping bedroom door, open or closed?
Closed.
Toilet paper, over or under?
It's under.
Zombies or vampires?
Zombies.
Red or white wine or neither?
Red wine.
Batman or Superman?
Superman.
Numbers or words?
Numbers.
Rare or well done?
Well done.
Mild or spicy?
Spicy.
Whiskey or rum?
Rum.
Gold or silver?
Silver.
Sweet or savory snacks?
Sweet.
Photography or fine art?
Photography.
Black and white or color photography?
Black and white.
Jazz or classical music?
Jazz.
Science fiction or fantasy?
Fantasy.
And finally, see the future or change the past?
Change the past.
There we go.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Vignesh, thank you so much for doing that.
Yeah.
These are really nice icebreakers for people to look at on the website. So thanks again for being one of our full members at the Arts and Culture Network. We'll publish this to the YouTube channel and a profile on the website, and then promote that via the LinkedIn groups, and all your contact details will be associated with this. So don't dash off, but for the moment, Vignesh, thank you so much.
No, thank you, Mark, because this has been really, really wonderful and an eye-opener for me, because you just took me down my memory lane, and like, you made me realize, like, life is a lot more. Yeah.
Thanks again, Vignesh.